In this video, we disclose the unexpected rationale for our decision to sell Nvidia's stock, despite our unwavering belief that it will soar in 2025. Before Nvidia was cool, you were there. In 2014, you were purchasing it for $4. You missed the most recent surge since the flagship RK Innovation ETF sold out of its primary holding in January. In 2021, you rode the wave on this specific stock, Cathie, to $330. Why? Yes, we've been really enthusiastic about Nvidia if you were very positive about it. When it hit about $100 in the fourth quarter of last year, we bought it down, and when some of our other AI-focused stocks stagnated, it tripled. You see, we're examining the relative values of names in the AI space, which, despite popular belief, many people do not think about us. And we looked at Nvidia, which is where it is with 25 times sales, and Tesla, which is arguably the most significant AI story at the moment, with 6 times sales. UiPath yesterday. 6 times revenue, not earnings. UiPath reported yesterday. The AI play is outstanding. Additionally, it is 6 times sales. There are several reasons why we pause when it comes to Nvidia. You'll find it in some of our more specialized portfolios, since it still achieves our minimum hurdle rate of return, which is 15% at a compound annual rate over 5 years. Yes, we are searching for better deals. However, cyclicality would be one of Nvidia's risks. I start to consider the cyclicality of a group when I hear shortages pertaining to GPUs or anything else. Competition. Tesla is developing a chip of its own. Google and Meta platforms are its own chips for larger, more specialized language models. The technology itself. Meta Platform's Llama model teaches us that it can produce better models by doing more with less processing resources but more data. As always, there are puts and takes in this situation. Regarding your own purchases or the ETFs, how many IRID investors have contacted you through Twitter or other channels? The fact that you maintained money in some funds, but not the main RK ETF, must have caused a great deal of annoyance. To tell you the truth, the majority of those who comprehended the Nvidia tale were hammering away at it from 2014 until 2021. Actually, a lot of people may have held it and included it in their own portfolios. People are aware that we are using AI, but we are doing it in a somewhat different way, which is why we have not received any opposition. Nvidia is now a stock that ticks all the boxes. The valuation is where it is because of this. However, we are searching for plays that have not only the management team's vision and wide distribution, but also proprietary data and AI know-how. In the same way that most people did not realize Nvidia was an AI play until very recently, we are just shifting to another set of plays that they have not yet identified. You mentioned either UiPath or Palantir. You mentioned Tesla. Although the number of AI-focused names you have is very small overall, there are quite a few. Is there something I'm missing? Does your flagship fund have a lot more exposure to AI? Or are you simply choosing to support a select few well-known companies? No, another name would be Twilio. Nearly all businesses, in fact, even multinational corporations like Exact Sciences, use their extensive distribution networks and in-house proprietary data to obtain information and develop better goods and services. Therefore, I would argue that practically every company in our portfolio is using artificial intelligence, a tremendous tool in one way or another. And 90% of the names in the portfolio, in my opinion, are using it and actually possess proprietary data. What drew my attention, and we've already witnessed a great deal of disruption to firms' market capitalization, was when they were disrupted by ChatGPT, for instance. The schooling company Chegg comes to mind. However, you pointed out that ChatGPT platforms might disintermediate Apple, for instance, with its apps platform. Is that an important business that we should be concerned about being disrupted? What other names spring to mind that the market may have misjudged the extent to which this new competition could overwhelm them? In any case, ChatGPT was either the worst or possibly the best thing that ever happened to Google. However, we often assume that ChatGPT and other chatbots will disintermediate it. The type of search, and hence advertising, that powers Google's business model is not what we will require. That is why we are concerned about it. As you mentioned, a lot of experts believe that social commerce, the practice of individuals shopping on Instagram and other social media platforms like Pinterest, as well as artificial intelligence, AI tools will threaten even Amazon. Customers may get straight to the source if they say, I want exactly this kind of item at the cheapest price anywhere in the world, using ChatGPT and other AI. Therefore, we would say that every platform that has acted as an intermediary is vulnerable. Tech is down 0.11%, utilities are up 17%, real estate is up 16.2%, financials are up 10.5%, small cap stocks are up 10%, mid cap stocks are up 8%, and the Dow Jones-like dividend index is up 12%. Wow. See, then, is that a great deal of that expectation was carried forward until the rate cut. After that, everyone simply stopped. Okay, fair enough. Making money shouldn't be so simple whenever you have, and this brings you to your point. Okay, so until the cut, we made a ton of money in those industries. We're just halting now. The problem is, though, I believe you believe it ends there. It appears to be a pause. We know we're going to land softly. So what do we need right now? Nobody is contesting that. For quite some time, we have been in a gentle landing. After this, it appears like we will be in a gentle landing for some time. Earnings are now what we need. Therefore, there isn't a stimulus to keep it continuing for the next 2 weeks. All of that enormous return up to this point in the quarter was pushed forward. We are currently sitting here gathering data. You receive items like buybacks. By the way, the trading department of JP Morgan claims to be bullish and willing to purchase every dip. They wish to maintain their tactical optimism. The rise into the end of the year is supported by the macro setup. They concur that choppiness is likely as well, but aren't they correct? We're all doing fine. Isn't the market still in a bull market? A great deal of growth was accelerated. Everything has diminished. Choppiness, in my opinion. Buy individual stock falls when they occur. You always purchase dips after all, and that's always a wise choice. However, I believe that everyone is kind of right here. I know, that sounds so corny. The market is booming. There will be a leadership cost. That has previously been observed. That, I believe, goes on. However, in order to maintain the utilities and the small caps, we absolutely must see earnings. However, it's great that you had a lot of people come on the network and talk to me before the cut, saying things like, hey, you can't buy the Russell until you get the cut. People aren't buying the Russell now that you have the cut. It's accurate. Well, the cut is yours now, but how is the Russell doing so far this year? I have 3 words for you. Sell the news, please. The Russell's has risen 9.5% so far this year. It was a perfect sell the news moment, in my opinion, and the Russell was anticipating the news that was announced on Wednesday afternoon. If I observe the kind of price movement that suggests you should purchase small caps, I will be the first to jump in and go buy them. However, you're referring to the quarter, and in my opinion, the Russell has performed well in comparison to other market segments. All of that, in my opinion, was in preparation for the announcement on Wednesday, and the Russell's performance on the other side of that was a sell the news moment.